Mic check, mic check. Yo, what's going on, everyone? So, finally done. It's that time. I know I'm running a little bit late. I woke up a little bit later than expected, and I needed to get myself going, get all the preparation going. I was able to get the live stream going. I had to tweak around some settings, but that's another story. Other than that, the page is live, or the game is live already on itch.io, which you can find in the description below. But basically all you do is you go to the description, click on the link, or either go to itch.io and type in Sprint to Fortune. And what you're going to want to do is find something that has my page, which is Cozy. And then there you'll find basically the new game here. And then if you want to check out the other ones, this is a Love Launcher demo. This was for a game jam. It was a finished complete game, but I left it as a demo just because maybe I wanted to expand on it later. Then there is this other one called I Am the President. Basically, it's an experience to scare the shit out of you. And I never did completely finish that one, and only because I was limited on my skills. But I do plan on going back and finishing it. There is another one that I was working on called Shine, and what other one? Yeah, I think Shine, which I still have all the resources, assets, and all the files and everything. It's just a matter of importing it into Unreal again and finishing it up, but that one is going to be more time consuming. If you want to join my private list, as far as new shirts, merch, and all that good stuff, I do have my Etsy store. If you want to support my brand, my business, you can go ahead and scan the QR code right here. But other than that, you basically just click on Sprint to Fortune, the game, and then you're going to go down to, if you want to read what the game basically is about, a couple screenshots of what the game basically wants it to run. And then I basically put it as if you want to donate. If not, again, this was just an educational piece from my portfolio based on my phase 1 studies that I finished. I wanted to master what I did. And there's a couple things that I added into the game that weren't really part of my studies, but I just added it only just to make the game a little bit more appealing. Obviously, just because it was more of a text-based video game, something simple as this, But here, I'll show you the other picture. But basically, all you do is you click download, and then here it's going to ask you, you want to donate $2, and it's set up either with PayPal, or your contribution that you want to do. And then I included the zip file. So a zip file basically is a folder that's compressed, so it minimizes the capacity of how big the file is, or the folder is. And then what you do is, once you download the folder, is you right click on it. If you're on Windows, obviously, because it's a Windows platform game, you right click on it and you do unzip. And then once you're there, I'll show you what to do. So here where it says donate, if you want to donate. If not, don't donate. Just click no thanks, just take me to the downloads. So you click there, and then here it's going to tell you Sprint to Fortune. And then I did include also the artwork for the main game. If you want to download that, you can click on there. But basically all you do here tells you unzip folder, double click Sprint to Fortune application, the game. So you're going to do download. So once that's downloaded, you're going to click on either show folder or go to your downloads. So we'll go to downloads, Sprint to Fortune, click on it once. Oops. And since I have WinRAR, which is another basically to unzip folders. It's a little bit more in depth, but that's another long story to get into. But you basically right click, and then here you're going to do, where is it? Wait, I didn't click on it. Extract all. And then here it's going to tell you that it's going to extract that folder now into this folder here. And the easiest way to remember this before this window pops up is, if you notice here, let me maximize this window. You can see kind of slightly there's something at the left corner of the folder, which is basically a zipper, letting you know that it's a zip file. And once it's unzipped, you can see that it doesn't have that little icon, or basically the zipper. If I was to zoom in, you could technically see it a little bit more, but let me see here. There's the zipper I'm telling you about. But basically, once it's unzipped, it's automatically open. It's going to open it. If it doesn't open it, just look for the folder that says Sprint to Fortune. So in this instance, it's there. And then you click on Sprint to Fortune. And then here, that's the game right there. Now, don't delete assets. Don't delete this desktop thing. You do need those things in order to run the game successfully. But other than that, let's jump in and let me show you what I've done in the past 5 months. Now, before actually we jump in, I did want to mention, so I've been studying C++ roughly for almost, I want to say, a year and a half now, maybe going on 2 years, on and off. Building first with Unreal Engine. As far as with C++, I started my journey in game dev with GameMaker way back in the day, then jumped to Unity using C#, then learned a little bit of Blender, and then now I'm on C++. And the reason I went with C++ is because the end goal is basically to work for Xbox Game Studios and potentially land a job, preferably working remote, and then potentially going into either robotics and things of that sort. But anyways, so just delete these files, and then clicked on Sprint to Fortune. And then here, before we actually where is it? Before we start the game, I'll drop the link to the download for the game in the chat. And then also one other thing, as far as what I was mentioning, as far as helping out with funding the future projects in my business, you can go to my Etsy store, which is also in the description below. If not, I'll drop it here in the comments as well. Currently, there's only one merch item in my shop right now, which is this. It comes in, let me double check, small all the way up to 3XL. And then here, fabric weight, basically the 4-ounce, 6-ounce, that's the stitching. So if you like a little bit more heavy duty, and when I say heavy duty, something that's going to last a lot longer, yes, it is a little bit more pricier just because, the stitching is more precise and more professional. Then I would opt in for you to go with the 6-ounce versus the 4-ounce. Again, the 4-ounce is going to be a little bit lighter, but it's going to cause a little bit more wear and tear. Now, as far as the washing and maintaining these shirts, there is notes once you buy, but basically, if you want to, purchase one of these, it is a safe place to buy from. And, I would really support you, and, I would really appreciate it if you were to support me by purchasing something like this, and then let me know what your thoughts into future merch. But basically here, this is what it looks like. And again, this is related with C++. But yeah, other than that, let's jump right back into what the topic of the video is. Here we go. Let me make sure everything is ready to go. So here it's going to tell you Microsoft Defender Smart Screens prevented an unrecognized app from the starting. Running this app might put your PC at risk. And the reason that's saying this only is because it doesn't recognize it. I didn't put any sort of credentials or anything like that basically tells it that it's a safe program. But again, if you don't trust me, don't run it on your computer. Other than that, if you want to check it out, go ahead and check it out. If not, just watch me play it on the live stream. And again, here it says publisher unknown. And that's actually one thing. Again, this is still part of my phase 1 studies. I could have probably gone back and changed this either in Visual Studio to actually put Cozy as the publisher, but I'm going to go ahead and click run anyway. And here we go. And one of the reasonings I picked this song was because it builds momentum, and you'll see exactly why right now. When I press new game and what you read on the screen as far as what the story is about. But besides that, you have your settings, your game rules, what the game is all about. I even included a way where you can actually kind of see kind of a demo of what the game is and how the game works. And then you have your credits and then exit the game. So here, the game Sprint to Fortune, made by Cozy, 2026. New game settings, game rules, credits, and number 5 option, exit. So enter your choice. First thing we'll do is just like, me personally, we'll go into settings. Now these settings are just for visual. I just wanted to practice, basically, not to get into the jargon or anything like that, but basically just learning the logic and how to build upon it as far as how an actual game would be developed. So here's save file name, then press enter. So we'll do test, track name, and press enter. So we'll do race 1. Select target frames per second, FPS, type 30 or 60, then press enter. And I'll show you one thing that took me a little while to get around, but basically, not to get into the jargon, but basically it's like 1 plus 2 does not equal 4. Simple as that. And that's the logic behind all of these next prompts that you'll see here. So if I type in 31, simple as that. So we'll do 60, use VSync, and again, same logic. So we type in 2, so we'll do 1 just to proceed. There's your build summary. So what exactly was just entered in our prompts that was asked of. So now let's see what the game is actually about. So we'll go to game rules. Alright, here. So it tells you to watch 2 bots race, type practice. To return to the main menu, type main menu. And if you download the game and you want to actually see how the game is played, go ahead and just type in practice. If not, and you want to jump straight into the new game or into a new game, just type in main menu. So what I'll do is main menu since I've done it already. Now we'll jump into a new game and see what the actual game is all about. So let's go ahead and type in player one runner's name. So we're gonna do Cozy. Player two, same thing. This one we'll do test. And here we go. Enjoy. Yeah, baby. Winner, winner, chicken. that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments, let me know what I could have improved on, what worked, what didn't work. Visually, what you liked. Obviously, it's a text-based video game, and it was made in Visual Studio Code. If the music could have changed, if I could have used better wording, how the storyline was. Maybe when I was thinking of doing a couple things. So, as far as new games, so I was thinking about doing player versus bot. Even kind of changing up the dice roll a little bit to make it more of not really a chance sort of game, but more of a strategy sort of type of game. But I didn't really want to throw that too much into it, just because I wanted to do something that was within my skill level and not overscope on it. And I knew that once I was getting around like 3 months, I was starting to get desperate into thinking. I was actually just thinking of just stopping, and to the point where I wasn't going to release anything. Only because I was like, okay, I already know how to program the logic, so what's the point of releasing something? But I just kind of, at that point, I was just like, I took a break for I think maybe a week and a half, and then after that I jumped right back into it. But before I jumped back into it, I had joined the Game Jam. I was on the basically wait list of, before it started, and before the Game Jam actually even started, I was like, you know what, forget this. And I went back after maybe the week and a half, maybe 2 days afterwards, came right back into Visual Studio Code and coded for I think 14, maybe 16 hours straight. And then the following day I coded for nothing. Then the next day I coded for another maybe 8 hours. And then from there it was just basically staying consistent with it. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you want to go ahead and check out the game, it is in the comments. It's also in the description if you want to check out my Etsy store and support the brand as well as support my business. You're more than welcome to. I know the price seems a little hyped up, but again, you do have different options. You can choose the 4 ounce again or the 6 ounce. We have them from small all the way up to 3XL, and we ship internationally. Anyways, take